The best deck of 2022. You thought that Sprites and Tier Elements would be the best in the current incarnations? Boy, oh boy, do I have a surprise for you. Don't be like the 30% of you guys have not smashed the Living Cripple. That's scrap and smash it so we can climb up the 100K ladder here. What a great conclusion to bring home the 12 days of deck profiles and goodies. The last winner will be down below. Now, what in the world could I have that really would be an amazing finish to this series? Well, it's right here in my hands, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final giveaway. This is the 2012 World Championship playmat. One of the coolest, rarest things that you'll get the chance to see out here in just being able to add it to your collection. Absolutely amazing. If you guys want the chance to step on up for this, tell me how you enjoyed the summer of fun. Tell me how, you're getting ready to adjust to go into fall here, and what you're expecting to see out of Power of the Elements, what you're most excited about. Of course, share the video with your friends. Make sure you like the video for the whole YouTube algorithm here, and we're going to pass on over to the final deck profile. We have the best deck of 2022, and yes, it's Tier Elements Ishizu. I think that the power scaling on this deck is insanity. To be honest with you, the changes that you see in the metagame based on this deck's presence, structure, it is a monster. Now, depending on how a ban list goes, you might see some changes for this, but you know what, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I would expect to wrap up and be the craziest deck of the year here. So, Agito here. If a card is sent from the hand and or deck to your opponent's graveyard, well, shucky darn, that's pretty easy. Alright, easy stuff. You can special summon this card from your hand, and then you can special summon a level 4 Earth Fairy monster from your graveyard. We don't really care about that. We care about if this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can send the top 5 cards of each player's deck to the graveyard. If exchange of the spirits in the graveyard, you can send 5 more cards to either player's deck to the graveyard. So it's a mill 5 from each, and if you got exchange down, you can go ahead and mill another 5. You already, you kind of understand, this card just facilitates some of the biggest milling here. Now we have 2 Diviner of the Heralds. In a perfect world here, you'd be able to go Halki 5. No, we're not doing that. Herald's going to be your centralized point here because it's an Earth Fairy it's a Light Fairy monster. So you'll be able to just do shenanigans with this as per usual. We have 1 Fairy Tale Snow, an excellent extender for the deck considering how much you're going to be milling out of your deck. This will give you an amazing chance to pressure the opponent with a huge boss monster. And then of course you have triple Herald of Orange Light. Trust me when I say this, that Herald plus 1 of these stupid fairies can let you play the game during your opponent's turn. And, it's actually kind of crazy to me, man. Watching this deck play because of this is so nuts. We have triple copies of Kelbeck, the Ancient Vanguard. So same thing here. If card or cards sent from the hand and or deck to your opponent's graveyard, you can target one of the opponent's special summon monster, special summon this card from your hand. Okay, we don't really care about anything else here, alright? We care about if this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, send the top 5 cards of each player's deck to the graveyard. If exchange of spirits is in your graveyard, you can set 1 trap card from your graveyard. That's pretty good. I love more milling. Now, Keldo here and Mudora act a little bit differently. So Keldo here, you can discard 1 other Earth Fairy monster, special summon it from your hand. Then you can add an exchange of spirits or a card that mentions it. So that's very important there as well. And then this is where the fun begins. Quick effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard to target up to 5 cards in any graveyard. So yes, you can switch this up and then shuffle them into the deck. Now, you're going to have to manage this because honestly, your resource management is going to be very important to this. If Exchange of Spirits is not on the field and or in your graveyard at activation, you can only target 3 for the shuffle back. So that's very important, but you'll be wanting to stack up these effects here. That way, when you do Exchange of the Spirits on your opponent, you basically will only shuffle back 5 cards into the deck. You just need 1 more mill. Now, Mudora here, you discard an Earth monster or an Earth Fairy, you special summon it from your hand, and then you can place a Gravekeeper's Trap card from your deck face up and just spell on trap card zones. So this actually searches for the Gravekeeper's Trap here. And then quick effect, it has the same clause as our friend over here, which gives you the ability to target up to 5 cards in the graveyard, shuffle them back. If you do not have, you know, our good friend Exchange on the field or in the graveyard, you only get to shuffle back 3. So keep that in mind. All right, now as we move forward, yes, we are playing a Shaddoll Beast. Now, making Winda is going to be the best thing about this deck, honestly. Considering the fact that you're going to mill, do all these resources to capitalize, yeah. Also, I mean, hey, all of your tier elements, except for Reno Heart here, fit the bill to be dark to expedite the process to the Winda, so it's good. Now we play triple Hoffins here. We have triple Myru, triple Reno Heart, and triple copies of Shaylin. Yes, you are maximizing on the names, all right? Now, as much as you might look at this and go, you know, is it really worth it? Yes. Yes, it is. Especially when you're jam-packed in at 42 cards, you don't have an issue. Like, just dedicating the extra resources is perfectly fine. We have one called by the grave because hand traps can really mess up your day a lot more than I think you want to see. Also, Dimension Shifter is a heck of a card. We also have one Foolish Burial with one Harpy's Feather Duster. You can cut the Feather Duster if you really want to, but for the sake of the tournament that this list saw play, there was a lot of active back row decks, so adjust as you really need to see fit here. We have one copy of Instant Fusion here. This brings out Kitagalos and expedites the process for a lot of the plays. We also have triple copies of the Primal Parallel Ruined Realm. Then we have one Exchange of Spirits. Remember, if both players have 15 or more cards in their graveyards, pay 1,000. Each player swaps their graveyards with their decks and then shuffles their new decks. You can only activate one Exchange of Spirits per duel. Alright, and then we have one Gravekeeper's Trap card. So while Exchange of Spirits is in graveyard, your opponent can activate card effects in the graveyard or special some monsters from the graveyard. That's easy peasy. You only use each of the following effects: Gravekeeper's Trap once per turn. During the main phase, discard a card to add a Gravekeeper's monster and Earth Fairy from your deck to your hand. This card is so good. And then during your opponent's draw phase, before they draw, if this card is already face up on the field, you can declare a card name, alright? And then you look at the card your opponent drew for their normal draw, and if it's a declared card, you get to send it to the graveyard. Like, the fact that you even have that clause on a card is so nuts. And then we have one Meta Noise and one Salic here, wrapping up our main deck. Down here in the extra deck, we have the one Underworld Closed Goddess, with the one Sprite Elf, with the one Dahark. We have one Time Thief Redoer, one Baguski, one Zuzi Boy with the one Abyss Dweller. And we have one Baron de Fleur, 2 copies of Kitagalos with the one Kaleido Heart. We have one Dracos, 2 Dracos to play. Remember, this is going to be the heart and soul of your strategy. The fact that you can just have a walking, talking interruption, so good. We have one Anitis and one Winda. Side deck here we have triple Chaos Hunter, 1 copy of Pinkertops, triple Space Rock, triple Dark Ruler No More, triple copies of Lightning Storm, and 2 copies of the Mystical of the Mines, wrapping up your 12 days of deck profiles and goodies, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's a little bit interesting of a layout this year for the series, but I really do hope that you did take some time here. You found some interesting list here, and I hope you guys just had a good time for the summer of fun here. We'll be back for the actual 12 days of deck profiles and goodies rolling up into, you guessed it, December, ladies and gentlemen. I will see your beautiful faces back here later on the day with some more cool Oz content. You guys stay safe out there, alright? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.